As we age, maintaining a sharp mind becomes more important than ever. It's not just about staying active or keeping up with puzzles and brain games, though those things definitely help. It's also about what we put on our plates. The foods we eat play a massive role in how our brains function, especially as we get older. But here's the thing, while some foods can boost brain health, others can quietly work against us, increasing the risk of cognitive decline and even dementia. And the scary part, you might not even realize it's happening. So let's talk about it. Today, we're diving deep into the world of brain health and uncovering 6 foods that have been linked to an increased risk of dementia in older adults. These aren't just random guesses or old wives' tales. We're talking about foods backed by research, foods that could be sneaking into your diet and doing more harm than good. Whether you're in your 40s, 60s, or beyond, this is information you'll want to know. Because when it comes to your brain, prevention is always better than cure. First up, let's talk about sugar, and not just the obvious stuff like candy or soda, though those are definitely culprits. We're talking about hidden sugars, the kind that show up in processed foods, sauces, and even bread. Studies have shown that high sugar intake can lead to inflammation in the brain, which over time can impair memory and cognitive function. It's not just about the occasional treat, it's about the cumulative effect of sugar on your brain over the years. Next on the list, processed meats. Think hot dogs, bacon, deli meats, and sausages. These foods are often packed with nitrates, preservatives, and unhealthy fats, all of which can contribute to inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain. Research has found that people who consume large amounts of processed meats are more likely to experience cognitive decline compared to those who eat them sparingly. It's not about cutting them out entirely, it's about being mindful of how much and how often they are part of your diet. Then there's fried food. Oh, fried food. It's crispy, it's delicious, and it's everywhere. But here's the problem. Fried foods are often loaded with trans fats, which are notorious for their negative impact on brain health. Trans fats can increase bad cholesterol, reduce blood flow to the brain, and even shrink the brain over time. Yes, you heard that right, shrink your brain. And when your brain shrinks, your risk of dementia goes up. So while that basket of fries might be tempting, it's worth thinking twice. Let's not forget about refined carbs. White bread, pasta, pastries, and other refined carbohydrates can cause spikes in blood sugar, leading to inflammation and oxidative stress. Over time, this can damage the brain's structure and function, making it harder to think clearly and remember things. It's not about cutting carbs entirely. Your brain needs them for energy, but opting for whole grains and complex carbs can make a world of difference. Now, here's one that might surprise you: alcohol. While a glass of wine here and there might not be a big deal, excessive alcohol consumption can have serious consequences for your brain. Alcohol is a neurotoxin, meaning it can damage brain cells and disrupt communication between them. Over time, heavy drinking can lead to memory loss, confusion, and even an increased risk of dementia. Moderation is key here. Your brain will thank you. And finally, let's talk about artificial sweeteners. You might think you're doing your brain a favor by swapping sugar for a zero-calorie alternative, but the truth is, artificial sweeteners like aspartame have been linked to cognitive issues in some studies. While the research is still evolving, it's worth being cautious and opting for natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup when you can. So what's the takeaway here? It's not about living in fear of every bite you take. It's about being informed and making choices that support your brain health in the long run. Small changes can add up over time, and your brain is worth it. Whether it's cutting back on sugar, swapping fried foods for baked alternatives, or choosing whole grains over refined carbs, every little bit helps. And remember, it's never too late to start. Your brain is incredibly resilient, and with the right care, you can keep it sharp and healthy for years to come. So take a look at your plate, think about what's on it, and ask yourself, is this helping my brain or hurting it? Because when it comes to dementia prevention, what you eat matters more than you might think. Let's make those small changes today, so we can enjoy a brighter, sharper tomorrow. Your brain will thank you, and so will your future self. Let's talk about sugar, specifically the kind that's hiding in plain sight, lurking in your favorite treats and sneaking into your daily diet. We're not just talking about the obvious culprits like candy bars or soda cans. Sugar is everywhere, in your morning cereal, your afternoon snack, even in that seemingly innocent pasta sauce. And while it might taste sweet, the effect it has on your brain is anything but. Here's the thing, your brain runs on glucose, a type of sugar, but there's a big difference between the natural sugars found in fruits and the added sugars packed into processed foods. When you consume too much added sugar, your body struggles to keep up. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells stop responding properly to insulin, the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar. And guess what? Your brain is not immune to this chaos. In fact, some researchers have started calling Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes because of the strong link between insulin resistance and cognitive decline. But that's not all. Sugar doesn't just mess with your insulin levels, it also triggers inflammation. Think of inflammation as your body's alarm system going off when something's wrong. A little inflammation is normal, but when it becomes chronic, it can damage your brain cells, leading to memory problems and a higher risk of dementia. And here's the kicker. This damage happens slowly, over years or even decades. You might not notice it right away, but every sugary snack or drink adds up, chipping away at your brain's health. Now, let's get real for a second. We all know sugar is hard to resist. It's designed to be addictive, lighting up the reward centers in your brain and making you crave more. That's why it's so easy to reach for a second cookie or pour yourself another glass of sweet tea. But here's the good news. You don't have to cut out sugar completely to protect your brain. It's about balance. Swap that soda for sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice. Choose dark chocolate over milk chocolate. And when you do indulge, savor it, don't let it become a daily habit. Your brain is your most valuable asset, and what you eat directly impacts how well it functions. So the next time you're tempted by something sugary, take a moment to think about the long-term effects. The donut might give you a quick burst of happiness, but your brain deserves so much more than a fleeting sugar high. It deserves a lifetime of clarity, focus, and sharpness, and it all starts with the choices you make today. Let's take a closer look at processed meats, those savory, salty, and oh-so-convenient foods that often find their way onto our plates. Bacon sizzling in the pan, a stack of deli meat in your sandwich, or sausages on the grill, they're undeniably delicious, but they come with a hidden cost, especially when it comes to your brain health. Processed meats are more than just meat. They are loaded with additives like nitrates and nitrites, which are used to preserve color, enhance flavor, and extend shelf life. Sounds harmless, right? Not quite. When these chemicals break down in your body, they can form compounds called nitrosamines, which are known to be harmful. These compounds can trigger oxidative stress, a process where free radicals damage your cells, including those in your brain. Over time, this damage can lead to inflammation, a key player in the development of dementia and other cognitive disorders. But it's not just the nitrates and nitrites. Processed meats are also often high in saturated fats and sodium, which can contribute to other health issues like high blood pressure and heart disease. And here's the kicker, your brain and heart are deeply connected. Poor cardiovascular health can reduce blood flow to the brain, depriving it of the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function properly. This double whammy of oxidative stress and reduced blood flow creates the perfect storm for cognitive decline. Now, let's talk about the research. Studies have consistently shown a link between regular consumption of processed meats and an increased risk of dementia. One study, for example, found that people who ate the most processed meats were significantly more likely to experience cognitive decline compared to those who ate the least. And it's not just one study. Multiple pieces of research point to the same conclusion. What you put on your plate matters when it comes to your brain. But here's the thing, you don't have to give up processed meats entirely to protect your brain. It's all about moderation and making smarter choices. Opt for fresh, unprocessed meats whenever possible. If you're craving bacon, look for nitrate-free options. When it comes to deli meats, choose brands that use natural preservatives or, better yet, roast your own turkey or chicken at home. Small changes like these can make a big difference over time. And let's not forget about balance. Pairing processed meats with brain-boosting foods can help offset some of the risks. Add a side of leafy greens, which are rich in antioxidants, or include a handful of nuts, which are packed with healthy fats that support brain health. It's not about perfection, it's about making choices that add up to a healthier, sharper you. So, the next time you're reaching for that bacon-wrapped snack or piling deli meat onto your sandwich, take a moment to think about your brain. It's working hard for you every single day, and it deserves the best fuel you can give it. Processed meats might be convenient and tasty, but your brain's long-term health is worth so much more. Let's talk about fried foods, those crispy, golden, irresistible treats that seem to call your name no matter where you are. French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, mozzarella sticks. They're the ultimate comfort foods, the kind that make you feel good in the moment. But here's the thing, while your taste buds might be celebrating, your brain is paying the price. Fried foods are often cooked in oils that are high in trans fats, the kind of fats that are notorious for wreaking havoc on your body. Trans fats are like the villains of the nutrition world. They increase your LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, and lower your HDL cholesterol, the good kind, creating a perfect storm for poor cardiovascular health. And guess what? Your brain relies on a healthy heart to function properly. When your blood vessels are clogged or narrowed due to high cholesterol, blood flow to the brain is reduced. Less blood flow means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching your brain cells, which can lead to impaired cognitive function over time. But that's not all. Fried foods are also loaded with something called advanced glycation end products, or AGE. These are harmful compounds that form when foods are cooked at high temperatures, like frying. AGEs are like little time bombs in your body, accelerating the aging process and causing damage to your cells, including those in your brain. Over time, this damage can lead to inflammation, oxidative stress, and even the breakdown of brain tissue. In other words, fried foods don't just make your arteries stiff, they can make your brain age faster too. Now let's be real. Fried foods are everywhere and they are hard to resist. The crunch, the flavor, the satisfaction, it's no wonder they are so popular. But here's the good news. You don't have to give them up completely to protect your brain. It's all about making smarter choices. Instead of deep-fried foods, try air frying or baking your favorite treats. Use healthier oils like olive oil or avocado oil, which are rich in monounsaturated fats that support brain health. And when you do indulge, keep it occasional rather than a daily habit. Another tip, pair fried foods with brain-boosting sides. Add a serving of leafy greens, which are packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation, or include a side of berries, which are known to protect against oxidative stress. It's not about perfection, it's about balance. So, the next time you're tempted by a plate of crispy fries or a basket of fried chicken, take a moment to think about your brain. It's working hard for you every single day, and it deserves the best care you can give it. Fried foods might be delicious, but your brain's long-term health is worth so much more. Let's take a closer look at refined carbohydrates, those fluffy, comforting, and oh-so-tempting foods that seem to be a staple in so many diets. We're talking about white bread, pasta, pastries, and even some cereals. They're quick, convenient, and often delicious, but here's the catch. While they might satisfy your hunger in the moment, they are doing your brain no favors in the long run. Refined carbs are essentially grains that have been stripped of their most nutritious parts, the bran and the germ. What's left is mostly starch, which your body breaks down into sugar almost immediately. This means that when you eat refined carbs, your blood sugar levels spike rapidly. And while that might give you a quick burst of energy, it's followed by a crash that leaves you feeling tired, foggy, and craving more carbs. It's a vicious cycle, and it's one that can take a serious toll on your brain over time. Here's why. Those rapid spikes in blood sugar trigger inflammation throughout your body, including in your brain. Chronic inflammation is like a slow-burning fire, damaging cells and tissues over time. In the brain, this can lead to cognitive decline and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. But that's not all. Refined carbs also contribute to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells stop responding properly to insulin, the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar. When your brain becomes insulin resistant, it struggles to get the energy it needs to function properly, leading to memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and an increased risk of dementia. And let's not forget about the lack of nutrients. Refined carbs are often called empty calories because they provide energy but very little else. They're missing the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that are essential for brain health. Fiber, in particular, is crucial because it helps slow down the absorption of sugar, preventing those harmful spikes in blood sugar. Without it, your brain is left vulnerable to the damaging effects of inflammation and insulin resistance. Now, let's be real. Cutting out refined carbs completely can be tough. They're everywhere, from the bread in your sandwich to the pasta on your dinner plate. But here's the good news. You don't have to give them up entirely to protect your brain. It's all about making smarter choices. Swap white bread for whole grain bread, which is packed with fiber and nutrients. Choose brown rice or quinoa instead of white rice. And when it comes to pasta, opt for whole grain or legume-based varieties. These small changes can make a big difference over time. Another tip: pair refined carbs with brain-boosting foods. Add a serving of vegetables to your pasta dish, or top your toast with avocado or nut butter. These additions can help balance out the blood sugar spike and provide your brain with the nutrients it needs to stay sharp. So, the next time you're tempted by a slice of white bread or a plate of pasta, take a moment to think about your brain. It's working hard for you every single day, and it deserves the best fuel you can give it. Refined carbs might be convenient and tasty, but your brain's long-term health is worth so much more. Let's dive into the world of trans fats, those sneaky artificial fats that have managed to sneak their way into so many of the foods we love. You'll find them in margarine, packaged snacks, and even those seemingly innocent baked goods like cookies, cakes, and pastries. They are everywhere, and while they might make food taste better and last longer on the shelf, they're doing no favors for your brain. Trans fats are like the ultimate double agents. On the surface, they seem harmless, maybe even helpful, because they give food a desirable texture and extend its shelf life. But beneath that facade, they're causing chaos in your body. You've probably heard that trans fats are bad for your heart, and they are. They raise your bad cholesterol, LDL, and lower your good cholesterol, HDL, setting the stage for heart disease. But what you might not realize is that they are just as damaging to your brain. Here's how it works. Trans fats increase inflammation throughout your body, including in your brain. Chronic inflammation is like a slow-burning fire, damaging cells and tissues over time. In the brain, this can lead to cognitive decline and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Trans fats also ramp up oxidative stress, a process where free radicals, unstable molecules, damage your cells. Your brain is particularly vulnerable to this kind of damage because it uses so much oxygen and energy. Over time, the combination of inflammation and oxidative stress can wear down your brain's defenses, making it harder to think clearly, remember things, and stay sharp. And the research backs this up. Studies have shown that people with higher levels of trans fats in their blood are more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease. One study even found that individuals who consumed the most trans fats had a significantly higher risk of dementia compared to those who consumed the least. It's a sobering reminder that what you eat doesn't just affect your waistline, it affects your mind too. Now, here's the tricky part. Trans fats can be hard to spot. They're often hidden in foods under names like partially hydrogenated oils on ingredient labels. That's why it's so important to read labels carefully and be mindful of what you're putting into your body. Look for foods made with healthier fats, like olive oil, avocado oil, or nuts and seeds. And when it comes to baked goods, consider making your own at home, where you can control the ingredients. But let's be real, Cutting out trans fats completely can be challenging, especially when they're so ingrained in our food supply. The key is to be aware and make smarter choices whenever you can. Swap margarine for butter or a plant-based spread. Choose whole, unprocessed snacks over packaged ones. And when you do indulge in a treat, savor it mindfully, knowing that your brain deserves better than a daily dose of trans fats. Your brain is your most valuable asset, and it's worth protecting. Every choice you make, what you eat, how you live, what you prioritize, adds up over time. So the next time you're tempted by a trans fat-laden snack, think about the long-term impact on your brain. Because when it comes to staying sharp and healthy, every bite counts. Let's talk about alcohol, a topic that's often surrounded by mixed messages. On one hand, you've probably heard that a glass of red wine can be good for your heart. On the other hand, there's no denying that excessive drinking can take a serious toll on your body and your brain. While moderate alcohol consumption might have some potential benefits, crossing the line into heavy drinking is a whole different story. And when it comes to your brain, the consequences can be devastating. Excessive alcohol consumption doesn't just leave you with a headache the next morning. Over time, it can lead to actual brain shrinkage. Yes, you read that right. Your brain can physically shrink. This happens because alcohol is a neurotoxin, meaning it can damage and even kill brain cells. The areas most affected are often those responsible for memory, learning, and decision-making. As these cells die off, the brain loses volume, leading to cognitive decline and a higher risk of dementia. But it's not just about brain shrinkage. Alcohol also disrupts the brain's communication pathways. Your brain relies on a complex network of neurons to send and receive messages, allowing you to think, remember, and function. Alcohol interferes with this process, slowing down communication and making it harder for your brain to do its job. This is why you might feel foggy or forgetful after a night of heavy drinking. And while these effects might seem temporary at first, repeated alcohol abuse can cause lasting damage, making it harder to think clearly and remember important information even when you're sober. Memory loss is another major concern. Heavy drinking can lead to something called alcohol-related brain damage, ARBD, which includes conditions like Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. This is a severe memory disorder caused by a lack of thiamine, vitamin B1, which is often depleted in people who drink excessively. Those affected might struggle to form new memories or even recall events from their past. It's a stark reminder of just how fragile the brain can be. And let's not forget about the increased risk of dementia. Studies have shown that people who drink heavily over a long period of time are more likely to develop dementia later in life. This includes Alzheimer's disease, as well as other forms of dementia. The exact reasons aren't fully understood, but it's clear that alcohol plays a significant role in accelerating brain aging and cognitive decline. Now, this doesn't mean you have to give up alcohol entirely. Moderate drinking, defined as up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men, might even have some health benefits for certain people. But the key word here is moderate. When alcohol consumption crosses the line into heavy or binge drinking, the risks far outweigh any potential benefits. So, what can you do to protect your brain? If you drink, be mindful of how much and how often. Set limits for yourself and stick to them. If you find it hard to cut back, consider seeking support from a healthcare professional or a support group. And remember, your brain is incredibly resilient. Even if you've struggled with alcohol in the past, making changes now can help repair some of the damage and reduce your risk of future problems. Your brain is your most valuable asset, and it's worth protecting. Every choice you make, whether it's reaching for a drink or choosing a healthier alternative, adds up over time. So, the next time you're tempted to overindulge, think about the long-term impact on your brain. Because when it comes to staying sharp and healthy, moderation is key. Now that we've talked about the foods that can harm your brain, let's flip the script and focus on the good stuff, the foods that can actually protect and nourish your brain. Think of your brain as a high-performance engine. Just like a car needs the right kind of fuel to run smoothly, your brain needs the right nutrients to function at its best. And the good news, there are plenty of delicious, brain-boosting foods out there that can help you stay sharp, focused, and mentally strong as you age. First up, let's talk about antioxidants. These are like the body's defense team, fighting off free radicals that can damage your cells, including those in your brain. Foods rich in antioxidants, like berries, dark chocolate, and even coffee, can help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, two major contributors to cognitive decline. Blueberries, in particular, are often called brain berries because of their high levels of flavonoids, which have been shown to improve memory and slow down brain aging. So, the next time you're craving something sweet, reach for a handful of berries instead of a sugary snack. Your brain will thank you. Next, let's dive into healthy fats. Your brain is made up of about 60% fat, so it's no surprise that it needs the right kinds of fats to function properly. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, are especially important. These fats help build and repair brain cells, improve communication between neurons, and even boost mood. If you're not a fan of fish, don't worry. You can also get omega-3s from plant-based sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts. And let's not forget about avocados, which are packed with monounsaturated fats that support healthy blood flow to the brain. Leafy greens are another must-have for brain health. Spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are loaded with vitamins like folate and vitamin K, which have been linked to slower cognitive decline. They're also rich in antioxidants and fiber, making them a powerhouse for overall health. Try adding a handful of greens to your smoothies, salads, or even your morning omelette. It's an easy way to give your brain a boost without sacrificing flavor. Nuts and seeds are another great option. They are packed with healthy fats, protein, and essential nutrients like vitamin E, which has been shown to protect against Alzheimer's disease. Almonds, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds are all excellent choices. Keep a small container of mixed nuts in your bag or desk drawer for a quick, brain-boosting snack. But it's not just about individual foods. It's about creating a balanced diet that supports your brain and your overall health. The Mediterranean diet, for example, is often praised for its brain-protective benefits. It emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, and lean proteins, all of which work together to keep your brain in top shape. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration can affect your focus and memory, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Of course, diet is just one piece of the puzzle. Regular exercise, mental stimulation, and social connections are also crucial for maintaining brain health. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, while activities like puzzles, reading, and learning new skills can help keep your mind sharp. And let's not underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. Your brain needs time to rest and recharge, so make sleep a priority. So, what's the takeaway here? Protecting your brain doesn't have to be complicated. By focusing on nutrient-rich foods, staying active, and challenging your mind, you can build a strong defense against cognitive decline. It's not about perfection. It's about making small, sustainable changes that add up over time. Your brain is your most valuable asset, and it's worth investing in. So, start today. Your future self will thank you. Your brain is your most valuable asset. It's the control center for everything you do, from thinking and learning to remembering and feeling. It's what makes you you. And just like any high-performance machine, it needs the right kind of care to keep running smoothly. One of the most powerful ways to protect your brain, it's right on your plate. What you eat plays a crucial role in keeping your brain healthy, and the choices you make today can have a lasting impact on your cognitive health for years to come. We've talked about the 6 foods that can silently sabotage your brain: sugary treats, processed meats, fried foods, refined carbs, trans fats, and excessive alcohol. These are the culprits that can lead to inflammation, oxidative stress, and even brain shrinkage over time. But here's the good news. You have the power to change the narrative. By being mindful of what you eat and making smarter choices, you can protect your brain and reduce your risk of cognitive decline. It's not just about cutting out the bad stuff, it's about embracing the good. A brain-boosting diet is one that's rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and essential nutrients. Think colorful berries, crunchy nuts, leafy greens, and fatty fish. These foods don't just taste great, they work hard to support your brain's structure and function, helping you stay sharp, focused, and mentally strong. But let's be real, changing your diet isn't always easy. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to try new things. Start small. Swap out one unhealthy food for a healthier option each week. Maybe it's choosing whole grain bread instead of white bread, or snacking on a handful of almonds instead of a bag of chips. Over time, these small changes will add up, and you'll start to notice a difference not just in how you feel, but in how you think. And remember, it's never too late to start. Your brain is incredibly resilient, and with the right care, it can continue to thrive at any age. Whether you're in your 30s, 50s, or beyond, the choices you make today can help you enjoy a sharper mind and a brighter future. So take a moment to think about your brain. It's working hard for you every single day, and it deserves the best care you can give it. By avoiding the foods that harm it and embracing the ones that nourish it, you're not just protecting your cognitive health, you're investing in a lifetime of clarity, focus, and vitality. Your brain is your most valuable asset, and it's worth every effort to keep it healthy. Start today and enjoy the benefits of a sharper mind for years to come. What brain-healthy foods do you include in your diet? We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your go-to brain-boosting snacks, meals, or recipes. Are you team avocado toast, or do you swear by a daily handful of walnuts? Maybe you've discovered a delicious way to sneak leafy greens into your smoothies, or found the perfect salmon recipe that even the pickiest eaters love. Whatever it is, let's inspire each other to make smarter, healthier choices for our brains. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful. It's a small way to show your support and help us reach more people who care about their brain health. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We're all about sharing tips, insights, and strategies to help you live a healthier, happier, and more vibrant life. From nutrition and exercise to mental health and lifestyle hacks, we've got you covered. Your brain is your most valuable asset, and taking care of it doesn't have to be complicated. With the right knowledge and a little effort, you can make choices that support your cognitive health and overall well-being. So let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts, your favorite foods, and your questions in the comments. Together, we can build a community that's focused on living our best lives, one brain-boosting bite at a time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.